My newest book is called Defending Your Marriage, The Reality of Spiritual Battle. I was shocked that when you write a book, you basically say, what are your competitors? What are the other books that are written about this topic, and what new thing do you bring? In researching about books that are about spiritual battle and marriage, I could find no competitors. Zip. Zero. No other book written on this topic. How in the world can that be true when 25% of everything Jesus talks about in the New Testament has to do with spiritual battle? Why are we so leery to do this? I think because we're fearful. We'd rather put our heads in the sand than talk about Satan, what he's capable of doing. In my research, there was one very terrifying fact that came to light, and that is the fact that most Bible scholars believe that Satan and demons can in fact plant thoughts in your mind. They can't read your mind, only God is omniscient, all-knowing, but they can plant thoughts. Now, where in the world do they get that from in the Bible? They get it both from the Old Testament and the New Testament. In the Old Testament, King David is tempted by Satan to take a census of his army. Now, you might think, well, I think it's really wise for a commander to know troop strength. And of course, that's true. But we learned from reading about David, he had shifted his confidence from God to the army, to the military. And now it says that Satan was inducing him to again count his army and put his trust in the army, not God. In the New Testament, we see the life of Jesus. When he's being tempted by Satan, he's taken to a mountain in Jerusalem, and he's asked to see all the kingdoms of the world, past, present, and future. Now, of course, Jesus couldn't see that from the mountaintop, right? So most believe that Satan was able to plant images of what these earthly kingdoms would look like into Jesus's mind so that he can actually see these images. So I hate to disturb you, but it is possible for demons to plant thoughts in your mind. That's why the Apostle Paul says you should take every thought captive. So at the Center for Marriage and Relationships, we're committed to looking at relationships both on a human level, but also a spiritual level. If we're going to look at relationships from a spiritual level, it has to include the demonic. It has to include spiritual opposition. We don't want to overreact, but we also want to equip people who come to our website, listen to our podcasts, come to our conferences, that we will talk about conflict from a psychological communication perspective. We'll also talk about it from a biblical perspective. And that means that some of those thoughts you're having towards your spouse or towards your relational partner may be interjected by Satan or by a demon. I know it's a chilling thought, but to be biblical, we at least have to consider that possibility.